Hi guys, and welcome to the Ace Tanker for the Jagdpanther II, the Tier 8 German tank destroyer, the one that isn't the Ferdinand. Now, I have a lot of history with this tank. Basically, when I first started playing World of Tanks, I went up the German lines first, and I got up to Tier 8 on the German TDs pretty quickly. I was probably only playing World of Tanks about a week and a half before I hit Tier 8, and the first Tier 8 tank I bought was the Ferdinand. And I played 6 games in the Ferdinand and sold it in disgust. I think I won 1 out of 6 games in my first 6 games in the Ferdinand. It was just too slow. I hated it, and I instead sold it, made a loss of a couple of million credits, and then bought the Jagdpanther II, which suited me a lot better. It was faster, it was more mobile, but again, at the time, I was a new player. I really was a noob. Didn't have anything more than about 1,000 games played, probably didn't even have 1,000 games played, and I played through the Jagdpanther II, and I liked the tank, but I never played it well enough to get an ace. So it's a tank that I sold originally. It was very new when I first played it, and rebought simply to get the ace in it. But yep, it's still as good and is still as much fun as I remember, and I've ended up deciding to keep this tank. So it's one of these rare tanks I rebought to get an ace and decided to keep because the Jagdpanther II was good first time around, and now that I actually know what I'm doing in the game, it's a hell of a lot better. It's a lot like some of the tank destroyers I've reviewed on the channel recently in that it's fast. It's surprisingly fast. It's surprisingly maneuverable. It's got a great gun. It's got a 128mm with 246mm of penetration. That's a tier 8. 490 damage, so you can get some incredibly high damage rolls as well with this gun. The premium ammo is quite good as well. In fact, it's very good. 311mm of penetration, 490 damage. But as per usual, I don't fire much premium in this tank. But it's a great gun, and it's also a really, really good gun against tier 10s. I mean, this is a tier 8 TD, it sees tier 10s. I find the gun is just fine fighting against tier 10s because it has the accuracy to be able to hit weak spots. So you can actually use this gun stock on the Jagdtiger when you get to tier 9, and the Jagdtiger is perfectly playable with just this gun. Jagdtiger is one of those tanks that's playable stock even though it's a tier 9 simply because it has this great gun. So you've got a good gun, fast mobile tank destroyer, and in addition to that, if you look at the sloping here, the armor can be surprisingly good. It can be surprisingly troll. So pretty much everything I love in a tank destroyer. Armor that can work, great gun mantlet, great gun, fast and maneuverable. We are here on Sacred Valley for the Ace Tanker game, and let's just get going. Now, I do want to point out I don't have 6th Sense. In fact, this was the game where I earned enough XP on the tank to get 6th Sense. And then, because I had 6th Sense, because I'd aced it, I stuck it in the reserves and it'll just come out on special occasions. I am now playing the Ferdinand with a 75% crew. But as per usual, what my plan is just to play like a traditional tank destroyer at the start of this game, moving to one side, trying to make room for this ISU 152. But I don't think he actually realizes what I'm trying to do here, because he decides to park his fat ass in front of me, and then he reverses. Yep. So I was being a nice guy. I let this ISU 152 have a little bit of space beside me, and now he's pushing into me. He's trying to turn, he's trying to ram me, and he's stolen the spot I wanted. So yeah, he's pushing me around, and nothing I can do. Okay, no scouts have come down to the usual scouting position. Readjust. But there really isn't enough room for 2 TDs up here. So I'm going to hang around. If you notice on the minimap, I'm platooned with Bringy. Bringy has gone north and he's run into a AMX 5120. This is a tier 9 game, although there are only 2 tier 9s on the enemy team. But he's run into a tier 9 heavy. Oh, someone tracks the T-32, and there we go. Look at that, 503 damage. You can get much, much higher damage rolls. So it's a typical German gun. Quite accurate, quite rapid firing. Nice alpha damage. I really do like the gun on this tank. But yeah, I've realised that, our team haven't given Bringy much support in the north. I've got to go relocate. Bringy's asking for help. He's worried about getting flanked. because there's no one really covering his butt except this ISU-152. So I'm relocating. And you can see that the tank is not slow. It will allow you to relocate. You can move around the battlefield. So at this point I'm telling Bringy on TeamSpeak that I've got his butt covered. He can fall back and maybe those tanks are going to come around the corner. So Artie does some friendly damage to Bringy. Doesn't make him very happy. But there we go. Tanks are advancing and 515 damage. Great gun. Accurate enough to hit that M103 just before he got into cover. So the reason I like tanks like this and tanks like the SU-122-44 that I recently reviewed is simply the flexibility. It allows you to play them aggressively, it allows you to play them passively, it allows you to relocate if you need to. And we've just relocated, so I take a poke around the corner just to see whether or not anyone is indeed flanking. And there, I just side-scraped a T-28. So I know there's a T-28 up ahead of me. Tell Bringy there's a T-28 around the corner somewhere. But we're going on the attack. So we know there's a 50-120 up here. We know someone took out the M103. And AMX 50-120 puts a shot into me, but we get a shot back. So there's kill number 2. So advancing again. Now the T-34 is up on the ridge to my right, but I decide to ignore him because I know there's a T-28 around this corner, or what was it? It was a T-28 around the corner, that's it. So, looking for the T-28, and no sign of him, okay. So there are 4 RT on the enemy team. I need to be really careful. 4 RT on the enemy team, and we've just found one of them. So we get a shot in. Looks like they've got an IS defending the AB lines. So there's an IS and a T-28 between myself and enemy RT. We've just killed one RT. Oh, and here's the T-28. So go for a track shot. Don't track him in time, and that was a disaster. T-28, I hesitated in tracking the T-28. RT put a shot into me, and as a result, I'm down to 30 hit points, so big mistake. Should have tracked the T-28 sooner, but look at the rate of fire. I'm able to track the T-28 again. His repair is slightly faster than my reload, but Bringy takes him out before I can get a kill. So now there's an IS who's advanced. There we go. And we get one shot in, fail to track him. His gun depression is letting him down. And the reload. Oh, he reversed just in time. Couldn't get a shot in. But he's been tracked. Moving out, side scraping, trying to stay RT safe. Got something to shoot at, and there's kill number 4. So this is a dominating game. Our team are winning 11-5, just 3 RT and an AMX 1390 left. And I know that 1390 was last spotted up at this corner. I'm only on 30 hit points, so I want to be quite careful. And as I say, I don't have 6th sense, not at the time I was playing this game. So that 1390 is perfectly able to spot me and kill me, but oh, okay, we're good now. AMX 1390's been spotted in the middle, so that means 3 RT have been left undefended while our tanks focus on the 1390. I'm going RT hunting. Because in a recent video, I think it was the M4A2E4 review, I picked up my first Dimitri's medal, and I said, yeah, my first Dimitri's medal, never killed 4 RT in a game before. And some of you were nice enough to congratulate me. And just shows, yeah, you wait 29,000 games to get your first Dimitri's medal, and then you get one about 2 or 3 days later. So, I'm lucky that the Lorraine 15550 misses me, just took out 2 RT in quick succession, going for kill number 7. 4th RT kill, and there is my 2nd ever Dimitri's medal. And there we go, first Ace Tanker in the Jagdpanther II after rebuying it just for that purpose. But as I say, I liked the tank so much I decided to keep it. I liked the tank first time round. It was one of my regrets. At the time I was playing this tank the first time, as I say, I was very new to the game, and I was selling tanks simply so I could raise enough credits to buy the next tank up. So I sold this in order to raise enough credits to buy the Jagdtiger at tier 9 when I finished with it, but I regretted it. So I rebought it, liked the tank, decided to keep it, and yeah, it's got everything you need in a tank destroyer to make it fun to play. It's fast, it's maneuverable, it rewards experienced players. You can get into position, get out of position, relocate. It's got a great gun, and the armor can work. It's not great against tier 9s, tier 10s, but the armor can actually work in it. So as well as the Ace, we picked up our second Dimitri's medal. Yeah, as I say, 29,000 games, and we get our first one, and then about 2 days later we end up picking up our second one. So yeah, just like waiting for a bus, waiting for 4 or 5 hours and then 2 come along at once. We also picked up High Caliber and Top Gun in that game. We finished top on XP with 1570, 4,841. Pity I couldn't have broken the 5k barrier, but 7 kills, not complaining. And you can see how accurate the gun is. 13 shots, 13 hits, 12 penetrations. It's got a nice rate of fire, and as I say, you can get incredible alpha damage from it when you start rolling high. 7 spotted, 10 damaged, 7 destroyed, did 1,524 assistance damage in addition to the almost 5k damage, and earned 46,000 credits. Wasn't firing any premium in the tank, so for a tier 8 it's quite a good moneymaker when you have good games in it. 2,355 XP. Wasn't my first game of the day. I was actually playing the tank while there was a crew XP event on in order to get 6 cents on the tank, which I did after that particular game. But yeah, first Ace in the tank. Very, very happy with it, and hope you guys enjoyed watching. I'll see you next time.